I was really taken by the finding that 1 in 5 people cited the ability to work flexibly and from home as a primary preference for moving job. This is part of the outcome from COVID, isn't it? And the fact that people want now to have that flexibility.
Exactly that, Arlene. So there's been a huge change in the job market and the way that we work since the coronavirus pandemic. And as you say, that startling statistic of 1 in 5 citing it as their top 2 reasons for moving jobs potentially in 2023 to get more flexibility. Of course, the highest one was more money and a higher salary. That's what people go to work for. But it is interesting to see how these other wider benefits that employees can now obtain from employers are making such a big difference in where people are deciding where to work.
And I thought the point about jobs not even existing in the future is a good one, because for a long time we've been hearing about the 4th industrial revolution and artificial intelligence becoming very important in our economy. This sort of moves us in that direction, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's absolutely, that's a kind of key point. 1 in 10 not thinking their job will exist by the end of the year. That's partly due to the recession that we'll see this year, but also it is that increasing automation that's taking place. But I'm an optimist when it comes to this. I think automation creates lots of new jobs as well. If you think about it, we've never had more technology. We've never had more automation in work at the moment, but actually our employment stats are as high as they've ever been as well. So it's not all doom and gloom about this. Lots of the jobs that are being created are exciting. We recently had somebody on the Jimmy's Jobs of the Future podcast who are piloting drones. Those amazing celebrations we saw above the London Eye and above Buckingham Palace for the Queen's Jubilee. That's a whole new swathe of jobs. They employ 50 people in Leeds, a company called New Substance. And that's a great example of a job of the future, but also the innovation that's taking place right across the British economy. So there's plenty of reasons to be optimistic as well.
Yes, but and you will know that we were talking about strikes at the beginning of the shows, and the fact that a lot of these strikes are as much about no redundancies as they are about better pay and conditions. And that issue of public sector workers and indeed manufacturing workers who get very, very worried about artificial intelligence because, as you rightly say, a lot of them think that their jobs are at risk.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But job markets have always been changing. There's always been more automation that's been taking place right from kind of the Luddite argument sort of centuries ago. And so actually, it creates, what it can do is kind of create a better job for lots of people. Obviously we had all this with the coal mines in the 1980s as well. Well, actually, when you think about the job of a coal miner, it wasn't a particularly good one, being sent a mile underground to kind of dig coal. It's a very dangerous job. That now doesn't really exist, and that's a good thing. But of course, when you're going through these changes, it's really difficult to kind of see that necessarily. And I think that's where Rishi Sunak was right in his speech this week to kind of focus on data, and that being such a kind of key under pillar of the jobs of the future, because every job is going to require the ability to interpret data and to be able to explain that to customers or potential partners. It's such an important part of the economy that's going to be taking place, and we need to get better at it.